Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzy. This is the Farzy Show presented by Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. First off, welcome in to the people on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Welcome in to the people on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. And word of warning, before we talk about James Harden, the Phillies, or anything else, PJ's off today. PJ's off today. He got a big-time deal here. He's going to be filming a commercial for a certain shoe brand. They're known for. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say, but PJ needed a last-minute day off. So here I am pushing buttons. So everybody hold on tight. We know it's going to be a bumpy ride. But welcome into the program. Goodness gracious. Yesterday was wild, man. Yesterday was wild. I always like taking you guys through my beautiful day as something's going on and something drops. And sure enough, yesterday, you guys are the loyalists to the show. Okay. You guys are aware that, I moved and I live in the suburbs now, and we bought a house with a pool. So I have the maintenance of the pool we got to keep up with and all that stuff, right? So I won't say who, but it's a person I'm married to, and she broke the pump is what happened. She broke the pump to the filter to the pool. So I'm out there trying to fix it, right? I got the super glue out, essentially, gluing some pieces back together. And I knew some things were going to be going on in the NBA. So I got the rubber gloves on. I'm applying the adhesive, right, to the thing. And I hear, bloop, and I go, what? And I open the phone. I look at it, and there's the Woj bomb. And then shortly thereafter, I saw Sham Charania as well, put it out there, that James Harden is opting into his player option with the 76ers for $35+ million to be traded to a contender. This is the best possible scenario that I could not have even imagined happening, and it's happening. It's not great that this is the way it's worked out, but unfortunately, this is the way we're here now. We can't change the past when it comes to James Harden or any other trade the Sixers could have made at any other point, or draft picks for that matter. But this is the best scenario for the James Harden offseason and the end of the quote-unquote James Harden, Joel Embiid era in Philadelphia. This is the best way it could possibly end, where you're not just letting him waltz on into free agency. And yes, it also helps him to opt into this deal. It makes him a little bit tradable, more tradable. He can make more money signing a long-term deal maybe somewhere else that will have a little bit more cap space than what the Sixers will have. And ultimately what he's after is that long-term deal. So it helps the Sixers phenomenally that he wants to and has opted into his deal. And now the Sixers, instead of just letting him walk into free agency, will actually be getting something back in return. Now, what do I want? Do I want expiring contracts? I don't want just expiring contracts. I want picks, baby. I want picks. But you also have to realize that now is the time to win if you're the 76ers with Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey on the upswing. I don't think Tobias Harris is going to be going anywhere in a trade. A name I'm going to be looking for to be moved is Tucker, PJ Tucker. Jeez. Those are the names. James Harden and PJ Tucker, those are more of the package deal type guys I see getting moved. I can't believe that this is how it's going to end. I thought, as you guys have heard me say throughout, I thought it was going to be a 2-year deal with the Sixers, and that was going to be that. I don't know if this is Joel Embiid pushing James Harden out. I don't know if this is James Harden just saying, you know what, I like Nick Nurse, but it's time for me to go somewhere else. Or if it's the Sixers and James Harden legitimately trying to get something done and couldn't get it done where it really benefited both parties. I don't know. We'll find out in the coming days, and we'll hear from Adrian Wojnarowski. We'll hear from Sham Charania about where the possible destination could be and how we got to this point. But when I looked at my phone and saw what you guys saw yesterday with James Harden saying, not only am I still going to opt in, but I'm opting in to be traded. I mean, if you didn't, I think most Sixers fans, when they saw that come across the old Twitterverse there, I'm looking at it right there and going, oh my goodness gracious. Oh, he's back on the player option? That didn't work out another deal? That's insane. To be traded? Here's Woj yesterday on SportsCenter talking about how all this came to be.
$35.5 million he opts into, and now he's available to be traded And the Sixers have already started to talk to teams around the league about a James Harden deal. But this was essentially James Harden looking out into free agency if he had declined that player option and not seeing perhaps the kind of long-term commitment he wanted from the Sixers or perhaps another team. Houston had been a team where there had been a mutual interest, and the Rockets have over $60 million in cap space, but their focus has been elsewhere in free agency. And I think for James Harden, his best chance to be on a contending team this year was to opt in and find a trade. But I think it's his expectation, and also the Sixers, that they're going to find a trade. We'll see how long that takes.
See how long it takes is what Woj goes on to say there. Kevin Nagandi, Temple University's own Kevin Nagandi, follows up and says, well, how long is that going to take? It shouldn't take that long. If they want to work under the new under the current collective bargaining agreement and not the new collective bargaining agreement, then they have to do it today. So you could be seeing the 76ers pull off this trade today. Now there's a couple of teams that are out there. The Knicks have been mentioned, of course. The Clippers have been mentioned, of course. Well, Shams Charania put out a name there that a lot of people raise their eyebrows to because it could mean Jimmy Butler.
And when you look at the landscape around the league, the Clippers and Heat are expected to emerge in this process for Harden, I'm told. And teams across the league that I've spoken to understand that a player like Harden of his caliber will likely reach a preferred destination, especially when you look at how his exit from Houston went a couple of years ago. And so the 76ers and Harden, before he reaches free agency on Friday, will now look at a potential trade out of Philadelphia. And the 76ers, from what I'm told, have already begun the process of negotiating and discussing Harden deals with other teams.
I really hope this is the way this is going to go down. I hope this is all not just some tease for what the 76ers could be doing. I don't think they're putting it out there that they're negotiating a trade unless they're negotiating a trade. If it's just going to be between the two parties, if James Harden really wants to be back, then you're working on a deal. This could be still an opportunity for them to sign him for another year, renegotiate a contract, whatever it could be. But I highly, highly doubt it. That doesn't make any sense. They would just let him go into free agency. You wouldn't need to do this. And he could just go wherever. Now, this is, and it could be as well, James Harden just simply doing his boy Daryl Morey a solid. I mean, it could be. It does help his trade, and it helps the Sixers get something in return. So it is a win-win for both. But I don't see any way that James Harden really does come back to the 76ers. As Woj said yesterday, he is expected to have played his last game with the 76ers. You're not just putting that out there. You're hurting the trade value by putting that out there. I mean, you'd be smarter to go about it the way you're going about it with Tobias Harris right now, saying that, oh, no, you want Tobias Harris? I want a slew of picks, and I want everyone on the Cavs. Like, that's pretty much what you would do if you really wanted to trade James. If you did not want to trade James Harden, he's getting traded. Sixers are going to get something for him, and he won't be a Sixer next year. So I'm getting my wish. And I know a lot of people were on the same page as me saying that you didn't want him back. You thought he was going to come back, but you didn't want him back. Now, not only is he just not coming back, but you're going to get something in return. The pressure is all on Daryl Morey now. Now, I have to set expectations here because this isn't going to be a franchise-changing move for the 76ers in terms of solidifying a championship or really bolstering their future. If you want players, you want to win now. I mean, you look at the Heat, and you look at the Clippers. If you want picks for the future, then go ahead and look at the New York Knicks. Because the Knicks, the Clippers, and the Heat are the three teams that are supposed to be really in on the James Harden sweepstakes here. When it comes to picks, the New York Knicks have a bevy of picks. So that's the team we want to look at. Listening to Bobby Marks yesterday, former NBA GM, now a contributor to SportsCenter. He was trying to break it down with the Knicks, and it's like Evan Fournier and picks. Then you try to work out the money in some other way, unless you want to take Julius Randle or any other big contract player there for the New York Knicks. Probably not going to happen. Then you could be looking at the Clippers. Norman Powell is the guy that I want. And if you want to make a trade, Marcus Morris was a name that was mentioned there as well. Philly kid returns home, all that nice story, whatever. But if Marcus Morris is coming here, then that means PJ Tucker is going there. Because I don't think that you're going to have a guy like PJ Tucker and Marcus Morris on the same squad. That would be they'd be tough. I'll tell you what, you won't be doubting anybody being a competitor, I'll tell you that much, with those two on the squad. But I think if you're going to have James Harden move on, then I think PJ Tucker is going to be attached to that deal. And I think you could be looking at something like Nicholas Batum. You could be looking at Norman Powell. You could be looking at Marcus Morris as well. There's a lot of guys in there that could be dealt from the Clippers to the 76ers. And you could still potentially get a pick down the line. And I love the idea of a pick down the line as opposed to a pick right now, especially if you're making that trade with the Clippers. Because if you're sending James Harden out to LA and you're teaming him up with Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, then they're going to be a good team. And their first round pick next year is going to be garbage anyway. So if you're looking at 28, I believe is their next first round pick, well, that's a nice little investment into the future. And by then you probably don't have Joel Embiid here anymore. So you're probably going to have your own first round pick. And then you're going to have that, the Clippers investment for down the line. That's still nice. Oh, and you get players that can help you now, like a 3-point shooter like Norman Powell to throw into this rotation. I'll take that. I like that. Oh, and you still have some edge to you coming off the bench or in your starting five with Marcus Morris. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. So the Clippers, I think, are a good idea. I think that's the most likely. The fish-a-wish situation with the Miami Heat is obviously Jimmy Butler. I don't see that happening unless Jimmy Butler really wants to force his way out of Miami. And I don't see that being the case. Maybe he really would love to play with Joel Embiid again. Maybe, I don't know how he feels about Nick Nurse, but I would assume that he likes Nick Nurse. Yes, he got bounced out. Oh, the other thing about Norman Powell is that he's a Nick Nurse guy. Played with him in Toronto, won the championship with him there in Toronto. So there's familiarity in that regard as well. But the Heat situation and the Sixers, I want it to make sense. I'd love for it to make sense. I'd love for it to make sense with Jimmy Butler. I just don't see that happening. You're not trading their backbone of the team for James Harden in this situation. I don't see how that happens. Now, the one thing that does go into this is that if you're the Heat, do Jimmy Butler and James Harden coexist? Picture that for a second. Can you see Jimmy Butler and James Harden on the same squad? Could you see those two personalities together? I can't. And with the extracurriculars that James Harden seems to enjoy, do you think he would be a functioning player for the Heat at any level whatsoever? I heard Tim Legler bring it up the other day about how James Harden is the type of guy that is either, what did he say, the Mariana, what is it, the Mariana Ditch or whatever the hell that is in the canyon or whatever in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the lowest point of the earth, whatever that is. Do you even call it the crust? I don't know. And then or he's either that or he's in the toposphere. That's high to low. Like basically wild extremes is what you're looking at with James Harden. Could you see that functioning with, first off, next to Jimmy Butler and next to Jimmy Butler in Miami? Because I don't really see it happening. So I think the most plausible thing, the thing that makes the most sense, is to pull off a trade with the Clippers. Get a first-round pick down the line when the Clippers are going to be garbage anyway, and their players are 110 years old. Get that first-round pick from the Clippers. Go ahead and get Norman Powell right now for the Sixers now to help you win. Go get Marcus Morris now to help you win. And that's where you take it. And I'll tell you right now, if I was really rooting for the gap year, which I was, this is a much better scenario, because not only are you running it back without James Harden, you're running it back with Maxey and Embiid as your number one, as your 1-2 punch. And then you're moving it on there with Tobias Harris to see what you could get out of him under Nick Nurse. And you could have a 3-point shooter like Norman Powell, who averages about for the last couple seasons here, at least 2 threes a game. That's some consistency for you. I would love to see that. That's something I want to see build. That's something I want to see put together. And to have that first round pick in your back pocket, that'd be pretty nice as well. So very impressed that this is where we're at. Very pleased with this is where we're at right now with the 76ers, because this is the best possible scenario. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Tomorrow, the new CBA kicks into effect. So some things change money-wise. So We have to be aware of that whenever we're fishing a wish with these trades. If you go to, I know a lot of people are going to be going to the ESPN trade machine. The rules change tomorrow. So get your bids in now. See if the Sixers can work something out to your liking, and then get them in again on tomorrow. And see where we're at right there over 4th of July weekend, by the way. So let the fun begin. Let the fun begin. One of the things that I also saw from Bobby Marks was that he wasn't looking at the idea of the 76ers trading for Norman Powell, that if he did try to make the salaries match, Powell wouldn't be one of the guys on there, even though his money does make sense in a PJ Tucker and James Harden deal, assuming that PJ Tucker would be part of the deal. But Nicholas Batum would be one of the guys that they would also throw into the mix there, and not Norman Powell, along with Marcus Morris. Oh, and Robert Covington was also another name mentioned. So I know the process people would be all about it for Robert Covington, for Rocco, for Rock, I think his nickname was at one point. I like Robert Covington as a human. I just don't know if I want to go back down that path. He's turned himself into a hustle player. He's always been a hustle player, but still rather go the Norman Powell route. Let's talk about our beloved Philadelphia Phillies. Also, let me know in the chat if you agree this is the best possible scenario with the 76ers and James Harden. Also, what's your dream scenario to get back for James Harden? I do warn you that as happy as I am that the Sixers will be getting something back, that's it. I'm not looking at this as if the Sixers are going to make a trade that is, like I said earlier, going to be franchise altering for the long run. They're not going to get back a player that is going to be the caliber of James Harden, what he was supposed to be when the Sixers acquired him in the Ben Simmons deal. But just the fact that you're not going to let him walk away for nothing is appeasing enough and appealing enough to me. I don't think the Sixers are going to walk away from this trade thinking, oh, we really want a trade here. No, you're going to get some pieces that are going to help you. But you're still, at the end of this trade, the two best players on the Sixers are going to be Tyrese Maxey and obviously Joel Embiid. When this trade's done, there's not going to be somebody coming in here threatening for the scoring title with Joel Embiid. There's not going to be somebody that's going to be threatening Tyrese Maxey's minutes. There's a chance that PJ Tucker stays and Tobias Harris goes with the expiring contract. PJ Tucker's a tough deal to take. 2 more years left on that 3-year deal, obviously. But when this is all said and done, when the smoke clears, you're going to have 2 key players. You're going to have Tyrese Maxey. You're going to have Joel Embiid. That was my dream going into the offseason. That's what you'll have. But not only will you have that, you'll have some other pieces to also help you win now, because you can't really go out there in free agency and make a splash because of the money. But you go out there, you acquire some assets, you get a pick for down the road. Not only will you have what I wanted, which was Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey as your 1-2 punch, but you'll also have some other pieces to help you win now, and you'll also have a pick for down the road. That's if you pull off a trade with the Clippers. That's what I'll be ultimately happy with. And that's what I think is also realistic. The Jimmy Butler thing, I don't think is realistic. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Jimmy Butler back here in Philadelphia. I would love to have him back and playing with Joel Embiid. And then, you know what you would have? You wouldn't have the 1-2 punch of Maxey and Embiid. You would have Butler, Embiid, and Maxey, which sounds awesome. I just don't think it. I just don't think it happens. I'll cross my fingers that it does, but I'll wish for it. I won't bet on it. More likely the Clippers deal gets pulled off. So we'll see how that goes down. Let me know. What do you guys want in the comments? The Philadelphia Phillies are playing some phenomenal baseball. I've told you guys, go back to this stat. I can't get over it. 371 winning percentage on the road. And now they've won 9 road games in a row. We talked about it yesterday. 17 of 22 is their best stretch since 2011, when they're still making the playoffs, when they're still looking like a force to be reckoned with in the National League. And now they've won 9 games in a row. It's their best road winning streak since 1984. I was 2 years old. A lot of us were just little kids running around. Some of us not even a thought yet in existence. And this is their best road stretch. 9 wins in a row on the road. When I look back at the month of June, by the way, my thanks to Rob Ellis. Make sure you guys catch Rob Ellis today and Derek Gunn on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel there when they do Sports Take later on today at noon. Rob was kind enough to join us last night, and we were talking about some numbers that jump out. And Rob was talking about the pitching. And I think if you were to talk about the numbers, whether it's Kyle Schwarber's, 8 home runs now in the month of June, whatever you can talk about a couple of different things for the past month. Rob was talking about the ERA. And the starting pitching for the Phillies has been the best starting pitching since June 3rd in all of baseball. They got a 2.24 ERA. Much of that is thanks to Ranger Suarez. Much of that thanks to Taijuan Walker. A little bit of it is thanks to Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola, but most of it is Ranger Suarez and Taijuan Walker. 2.24 ERA since June 3rd. The next number I look at for the Phillies in the month of June, it has nothing to do with Kyle Schwarber. It's got everything to do with Trey Turner. And so far, you got one more game to go when the Phillies will take on the Washington Nationals tonight at Citizens Bank Park. The Philadelphia Phillies, their shortstop, Trey Turner, is a guy that we were all rooting for to turn it around. Some of us had doubts. Others did not. I've been telling you guys for quite some time that there was a much better brand of baseball for Trey Turner. Well, Trey Turner in the month of June has certainly put it together, at least for a guy that looks like he could be a top-of-the-order hitter. In other words, he could be a guy that would be your leadoff hitter if Kyle Schwarber continues to go by the wayside and the power numbers don't stay consistent. I see him hit a home run yesterday. Again, 8 home runs in June is great. Hopefully he gets another one today. I'm going to get 9 home runs in June. But Kyle Schwarber, listen to this. In the month of June, he's got a 357 on-base percentage and a 280 batting average. That's the Trey Turner I need. That's the Trey Turner that was signed. Yes, the 280 on the 280 batting average, if it's higher, great. But if you just get him at that 357 on-base percentage for the rest of the season, the runs that will create will be fantastic. Still in third yesterday. Still in second yesterday. Still in third in the series. Still in second yesterday. Putting himself in scoring position. Hustling to get that hustle double yesterday. That is fantastic. More of that, please, from Trey Turner. So I look at the numbers from the month of June. And again, it ain't over yet. One more game today. But I look at the numbers for the month of June. You got the 2.24 ERA by your starting pitching. And then, you know what else you got? You got Trey Turner's on-base percentage. And how about this? I'll throw you one more number. Nick Castellanos. Holy pots and pans, my man. 5 home runs in the month of June. 355 batting average with a 392 OBP. The main reason the Phillies have had success either on the road or throughout the month of June is because the starting pitching has been just flat out fantastic. But as you really start to put things together for how else they did it outside of the pitching, how they did it on the offensive end of things, Nick Castellanos and Trey Turner, and yes, Kyle Schwarber and 8 home runs. That's fantastic as well. By the way, his on-base percentage in the month of June is 342, Kyle Schwarber, so good for him. But what they've been able to do this month has been spectacular. What they've been able to do on the road over the last 9 games has been literally perfect. Here's Rob Thompson on the Phillies turning it around on the road.
You know, we've played well on the road all of a sudden after a tough start. I mean, we were really scuffling on the road, and now we've kind of settled in and feel good about it.
Does it all come back to starting pitching?
Yeah, I mean, you know, these guys have been great. I mean, I thought Taijuan was good, but, you know, I've seen him better. Mm-hmm. But he battled and grinded. You know, he got into some tough. We put him into some tough situations, and he just battled right out of it. So that's a sign of a good pitcher.
It certainly is a sign of a good pitcher. By the way, the Phillies now 1 game under 500 on the road. They are 22-23, thanks to this incredible run that the Phillies have been on. Of course, the All-Star break is coming up. No All-Stars for the Phillies as of yet. Nick Castellanos snubbed, in my opinion. And JT Realmuto. There's a couple of things I want to talk about specifically about last night's game. But oh my goodness gracious. What JT Realmuto did in that ninth inning, the athlete. The man is an absolute athlete. Before we get into that, Phillies have 3 series remaining in the unofficial first half of the season. Tonight, Friday night, they got 3 games. They start a 3-game series with the Nationals. Then 6 tough games to round things out on the road. 6 games on the road. 3 games in Tampa. That's Tampa Bay Rays. And then 3 games in Miami. They'll take on the Marlins, of course, in a NL East battle. But it all starts tonight. Last 9 games leading up to the All-Star break. 6:05 start time for the Phillies against the Nationals. We'll get more into that in the morning rush. Let's talk a little bit about that game last night. Game 3 of the 3-game series, the brief road trip they had in Chicago against the Cubs. The Cubs have been playing some great baseball coming into this one. They were just coming back from jolly old London. You can make the excuse of game 1. They're a little jet lagged, a little tired, a little behind the game. Game 3, you really can't make that excuse. And it was a 3-1 game. It was the closest game of the series. Phillies come out. Kyle Schwarber takes the first pitch of the game, goes deep, 1-0, 391 feet down the right field line. I don't even think he was out of the batter's box when the ball left the playing area for a home run. But he eventually left because he trotted around the bases and the Phillies were up 1-0. Then Trey Turner got that hustle double. That was great. Now, the offense clicked in there in the 3rd inning as well. You had Cody Clemens, lead off with that single. Horner couldn't make the play to his right. Clemens get credited for the infield single. Then Kyle Schwarber strikes out. Turner, in the process, is able to come up and get a single there. Now you have 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Castellanos flies out to center field. That's moving Clemens to 3rd. So now you got 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. During Castellanos hits the single, Clemens takes 3rd. Harper steps up to the plate. While he's at the plate, Trey Turner steals 2nd base. He puts himself in scoring position. Harper delivers a single up the middle. 2-run score. It's a 3-1 ball game. That would be it for the Phillies offense for the rest of the game. Now, let's go into that 4th inning. Let's go into that 5th inning. Oh, no. I'm sorry. The stupidity started in the 4th. In the 4th inning, Taijuan Walker takes to the hill. He's been pitching very well in this game, not really relying on the splitter, which has been his best out pitch so far this season. So you go into that 4th inning. Dansby Swanson leads things off by grounding out the shortstop to Trey Turner. Then Bellinger works a walk. Amaya comes up. He gets a single to right field. Just bounces over the mitt of Clemens there at first base. So now you have 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Young steps up to the plate and strikes out. And then Madrigal lays down a bunt with 2 outs. There's a little running joke I have with a buddy of mine that I would play MLB The Show with. All right. Who is it? Matt Vasgersian would do the play-by-play. And whenever you would lay down a bunt with 2 outs, the computer-generated cue, it was a computer-generated cue for Matt Vasgersian to go, bunt with 2 outs? Like that. And I swear I said it last night. Madrigal lays down the bunt, ends up grounding out to Cody Clemens. Why are you laying down a bunt with 1st and 3rd and 2 outs? Like, he was trying to... I think the goal was to bunt for a hit. I hope it was for his sake and for David Ross's sake as well. Didn't make any sense. Dumb play. All right. Then you go into the 5th inning. Phillies can't get anything going there. In the top of the 5th inning, going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tauchman gets the error. He reaches on the error by Kyle Schwarber in left field. So again, the left fielder, Kyle Schwarber, ends up really hurting the Phils. I can't wait till you have Bryce Harper at first base and Kyle Schwarber becomes your designated hitter. And it looks like, according to Dave Dombrowski, that is going to happen in the not-too-distant future after the All-Star break. So, yeah, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for that. So now you got a runner on second base. But the good part is that the Cubs are, what's the word I'm looking for? Dumb. The Cubs are dumb, folks. At least they're playing really dumb. At least they're playing like the Mets of the Midwest, baby. So Tachman leads off. He reaches second. He could have been on third if he was hustling even a little bit, but he wasn't. So then Tachman's on second base. Then Hoerner steps up to the plate. He hits a single down the right field line. Tachman, I thought, was going to score on this. And he didn't. He only got to third base on a single down the right field line. Hoerner's on first now. You got runners on first and third with nobody out. Morel then lays down a sac bunt. Why? I don't know. But they tried to lay down a sac bunt. It's a 1-3 out. So now you got runners on first and third with one out. If the bunt is on and the squeeze is on, not even the suicide squeeze, but even the squeeze play is on, Tachman's got to know about it. Did he just not want to run? Like, if you didn't want to score a run, you would play that fifth inning exactly how Tachman was playing the fifth inning. By not hustling around the bases, so you only get the second. By not hustling to round third and score on a single down the right field line. And then to not, I guess Morel just surprised everybody by laying down that bunt. Dumb play. Hap then lines out to, this is actually funny. Hap lines out to Stott, and it was a great call actually by Ruben Amaro Jr., who said it was like the baseball gods were smiting you for stupid bunts the last two innings. Then Swanson steps up there, and this was spectacular. We've talked about Zach Wheeler at times not having his put-out pitch, his put-away pitch. We've talked about Aaron Nola not having that pitch. Taijuan Walker's pitch all season long has been, even when he was struggling in the beginning, has been the splitter. And yesterday, in that fifth inning, he got out of that jam by throwing a splitter high and tight to Dansby Swanson. Oh, it was a strike. It wasn't a bad call. And it dropped in there beautifully. Wow. Chef's kiss, ladies and gentlemen. For the people on the podcast, that was a chef's kiss. And it was a thing of beauty. So he strikes out Swanson. Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the top of the sixth inning. Taijuan Walker comes back out for the bottom of the sixth. Gets Bellinger to strike out. Gets Amaya to strike out. Both were full counts, just like it was to Dansby Swanson. 3 straight strikeouts at that point for Taijuan Walker. 3 straight full counts. He gets the strikeouts in. On Bellinger's strikeout, he went down in the count 3-0, fought his way back to get the K, and then he goes and he attacks Amaya, and he strikes him out on a 3-2 cutter, and that was all she wrote, baby. Then, unfortunately, Young ended up reaching on the error by Brandon Marsh in center field. Looked like he short-armed it a little bit between him and Nick Castellanos. A little miscommunication there. It was Marsh's fault. Marsh even went up after the inning to Taijuan Walker to apologize for that ball falling in. But Walker's like, hey, man, I got you. Madrigal goes up there and he grounds out to third base. Pretty great way for Taijuan Walker to get out of that threat in both the fifth and the sixth inning, but most notably that fifth inning. So Taijuan Walker now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a hat tip to our friend Todd Zalecki. Taijuan Walker, 169, nice, 169 ERA over his last 8 starts. Over his last 5 starts, 0.84 ERA for Taijuan Walker. Picks up the win yesterday. That's great to see that. Let's talk about that play that JT Realmuto had in the 9th inning. First off, Craig Kimbrell, what a sight for sore eyes he has been. Just absolutely slamming the door. You know, somebody pointed, I think it was John Marinelli on the postgame show last night, pointed out to me in the chat that one of the things that he pointed out was Craig Kimbrell's got 5 wins on the season. That's bonkers. I got to go back. Maybe on Monday I'll have that guy. We're off Monday. But I'll have that for you guys on Monday. Tuesday, maybe. That is remarkable to me. Absolutely remarkable to me. That the Phillies closer has 5 wins on the season. But anyway, Craig Kimbrell comes in. He pitches great. And JT Realmuto, with the play that he made on Madrigal. It was not Madrigal's night last night, by the way. But he, I don't think it was a bunt. Was it a bunt again? Let me look at the actual play-by-play and not my notes. But whatever it was, it's a dribbler down the first base line. JT Realmuto, if you ever had any doubt that it was that the man's an athlete and the guy's a state champion quarterback in Oklahoma, JT Realmuto springs out of the catcher's position, starts running down the first base line with Madrigal. If he wanted to, he could have beat him. I think he could have beat him in full gear down the first base line. And JT Realmuto picks up the ball barehanded, lunges forward, and with zip on it, with some stank on it, underhands the baseball to Cody Clemens at first base for the second out. You don't see that too often, folks. You don't see it too often. Yeah, and it was a swinging bunt. It wasn't a bunt. But he hits the dribble down the first baseline. JT Realmuto runs up the first baseline, barehands it, flips it to first for the second out of the inning. And that's how you handled your business in the game last night. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Phillies get the win. They come home now in the face of the Nationals before going out on the road for a 6-game road trip. They got a 3-game series here against the Nationals. Let me tell you about the great people at Steven Singer. Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right there on Jewelers Row. For over 40 years, Steven's been in the love business in Philadelphia, helping people get engaged and fall in love. So trust the man with the perfect price each and every day online at IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers, they treat you at that perfect price every day, so you know you're getting the perfect value. IHateStevenSinger.com. How about Manscaped, the leader of below-the-waist grooming? Join 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with their skin-safe technology that helps reduce the risk of nicks, so you can manscape with confidence and comfort. So check out Manscaped at Manscaped.com. How about the amazing people at Freestone Farm CBD? FreestoneFarmCBD.com. You'll love their tropical tasting Bayox that clocks in at a chart-topping 24.1%. And Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush, and 21%. Genetics of these guys are off the charts. So try Freestone Farm CBD at FreestoneFarmCBD.com. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's PHLSportsNation.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We all miss PJ. I miss PJ. But when PJ isn't here, I get to put the comments up. Now, this appears I'm only able to access the comments from Farzy's show. So we'll run through Farzy's show first, and then we'll run through JAKIB Media YouTube channel next. So let's get it right here. April! Good morning, April. Good morning. Ring the bell. I hear you. T-Bro. Doing nails? What is this? Oh, sweep the Cubs. Doing nails. Listen to me. What an idiot. For the people on the podcast, T-Bro chose to communicate in emoji. And boy, did I read that wrong. He's painting the nails of Cubs? What? Of little baby bears? I mean, it's adorable. I mean, act like right now you wouldn't want to walk in the forest and come across a little cub with painted nails. You tell me right now that wouldn't just make your year. Anyway. Sean Gillespie, good morning. April. Oh, snap. PJ is hitting the big time. Not just because he's 9 feet tall. Yeah, not just because he's 9 feet tall. Go Sixers. Sean, as long as we don't play the Braves, the Phillies are good. This is true. April, I'm impressed you didn't get glue on. Let me tell you what a trip this has been, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have a pool, all right, then you hear my pain. No, but in all seriousness, like if you got to clean out the pool sometimes, you got to put on this thing called backwash, but it's important to turn the filter off before you turn it to backwash. If you don't do that, then the lid will pop off with all the force, all the pressure built up under it. So it did. It popped off and it cracked a latch, chipped it right off. So now I can't get a good seal to build up the air pressure in the filter unless I enact my incredible ingenuity. I glued it on about 3 weeks ago, and wouldn't you know, it came off. So I cleaned it, I reattached, I reapplied, and then I put some flex tape over it, and that seems to be working beautifully. Oh, my man, shout out to my man Big Wayne, my pool man. He was like, you got to get. I never even heard of this. It's called O-Lube. Stay with me. O-Lube, O-Ring Lube. Yeah, nice little tube of lube right there, and just put that all over the O-ring, and then latched it. And boy, that's working, baby. That's working. Summer vacation commences. So thank you, Sean. As long as we don't play the Braves, we're good. April, I'm impressed you didn't get glue on your head. Yeah, thank you. Go Sixers. Exactly. What about the lube? Anyway, Sean Kilrain, good morning. Sean Gillespie, hello again. He might have glued it to his leg. I'm curious about what contender, Sean Gillespie, I'm curious as to what contender wants Harden. Contender in quotation marks. That's an excellent question. I guess it's the Clippers. If you're the Heat, do you really want James Harden? I don't think you really want James Harden. I don't think you want James Harden. Which is sad to say because I want Jimmy Butler, but it's not happening. Anyway, guy can dream. Sean Kilrain, what's going on? He really never wanted to be here. Loser mentality, always jumping team from team. You agree. Peace out, Harden. Yeah. Look, when you force your way out of Houston and then you force your way out of Brooklyn, I don't know if this is forcing his way out of Philly because he could just be a free agent, and I understand that. But it seems to be at least that he's just running to the next team for him to fail on. That's what it feels like. And I don't care because James Harden is not a homegrown product. I have no emotional attachment to James Harden. I am happy that James Harden is going to be gone and we're going to get something here back in Philadelphia. It's not just going to be him walking away. He is now an asset of the 76ers, and whatever you get for him is gravy. I just hope that the Sixers don't treat this as if they're playing with some kind of house money right now. I hope that they feel like they can still get something of value, and they don't get, spurned like the Wizards did, for instance, with Bradley Beal. Sean Gillespie. The Sean's really chatty today. Harden's heart was to the Sixers, but not his body. Time catches everyone. I guess. Where you see him realistically going, Farzy? We got to make a good deal with him. I realistically see him going to the Clippers. Dan Schwartz, freedom! Yep, freedom. I love it. I'm pretty sure the Sixers are trading Harden to Portland for Dame. I'll post the info on Twitter for you. I saw that. I haven't seen if there's been any other update. I didn't see anything today, unfortunately. Oh, come on. I always love doing live searches. Yeah, I did see Brian Windhorst. He put it out there. Dame Lillard and Kyrie Irving could be monitoring. I want nothing to do. I want nothing. I would want nothing to do with Kyrie Irving. Damian Lillard, yeah, you have my attention, but that just seems to be the pipe dream of pipe dreams. I mean, I talk about Jimmy Butler as if it's a pipe dream. Dame Lillard to me is a huge pipe dream, but if Wendy says it's possible, then I'll entertain it. Phillies are road warriors. Nola is his only fourth best starter, and the stats show it. Yeah. What's crazy is we're now 7.5 games behind the Mets, or should be ahead of the Mets. Sweep the Nationals, ring the bell. Mihai Sanchez, let's hope for it all, baby. Sean Kilrain, JT, hands down, my opinion, best catcher in all that and is all that you expect from a catcher. I agree. Harper still losing me money. I will be broke on this hill. Get faith in my guy. Hey man, I'm hoping for him too. What do I have? Sean and April. What other catcher is making that play right now? Nobody. Ray Fitzgerald. I'll drive Harden to the airport. This will be his 5th team. Like, the NBA has a problem. They have no idea how to solve it, and I don't really know how to solve it either. Need some Gorilla Glue next time. You know what I used? I used the JB Weld. I used the 2-part epoxy JB Weld. And I think what happened was the O-ring lube got to it and helped dissolve the glue a little faster. So I was hoping the Flex Seal tape would protect it. So I'll go out there after the show and check on it again. T-Bro, when's the pool party? Come on over, bud. Come on over. Dan Schwartz. Oh, there is another update on Lillard I sent you. It's pretty much a lock. You stop it, Dan. Oh, look who's back. Dan, what are you sending me? Portland is home to the I'm not reading that part out loud, but it's a place that James Harden likes to go, being that Lil Toots has rejoined us. By the way, Mommy's away, in case I didn't mention this yesterday. Mommy's away on a business trip. Yeah. She'll be back later today. So somebody thinks she has free reign of the casa, and her name is Lil Toots. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good, Daddy.
Oh, melt my heart. Why don't you? All right, let me jump over to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, see what you guys got going on over there. What, sweetheart? All right, come here. Let's see here. Bring back Ben Simmons somehow. Can you say no to Ben Simmons?
No to Ben Simmons.
Thank you. Don't put your hand on the microphone. Where's your mic discipline? Chatterbox at school. Oh, look, Sean saying, good morning, little MacGyver. April saying, good morning, little MacGyver. They think you're MacGyver because you can, we'll watch MacGyver one day. That's one of Daddy's favorite shows from when he was younger. I'll just call you King TV for this one. Go Phils. Bye-bye, Jimmy Harden. That's funny. Eric R. I want James Harden traded to the Knicks. I can't help but get annoyed that we always feel the need to expect the worst value when it comes to trading anyone. Yeah, Eric, I agree with you to an extent, but this is an NBA trade where a player wants to pick his destination, essentially, and that just seems to devalue wherever a player wants to go, or whatever you would get. I would love a trade with the Knicks would mean a lot of picks. It would probably mean Evan Fournier, and I like him, but it would mean a lot of picks for the Sixers. So that'd be a good future move and a decent move to help you a little bit now. Tired of 30-plus club. We need Brunson and Hart. Oh, I'd love to see that. Hart just opted in. Maybe he opted in to be traded. Who knows? Sean Gillespie, hello over here as well. All of a sudden, don't understand it. Please keep it going, Phillies. Absolutely. North Philly Sun, what's going on? Bring back Ben Simmons somehow. We want winners. Yeah, right. No, thank you. Thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys are great, as per usual. Monolith, say thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
There you go. Are you watching yourself on the monitor? Yeah. How do you look? How do you look? No answer? Still got to build a door on the studio. Anyway, thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are great, as per usual. Hey, Monolutes. It's Friday. You're in crazy mode. What are you stop moving the microphone. Stop moving the microphone. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. Phillies and Nationals get things underway at 6:05 tonight. You know, Uncle Michael will be at the game tonight.
Yeah.
He's supposed to. I think it's fireworks night out there. So Phillies are back at it tonight, 43-37. 6:05 start time tonight. Josiah Gray gets the start for the Nationals. He's 5-6 on the season with a 3.43 ERA. The last time he faced the Phillies was before the Phillies went on that nice run. She's got a little cough. Last time he faced the Phillies, he went 5 1/3, allowing 4 runs. All of them earned on 6 hits. He also gave up 2 long balls as well. His last start, he went up against the Padres, and he went 5 1/3 scoreless, just allowing 4 hits and also issued 4 walks. So a little patience in the batter's box today, maybe. As for the Phillies, they're going to trot the left-handed pitcher, Christopher Sanchez, out there on the hill and make his 4th start of the year, 3rd start successively with the start. Monolutes. Oh, you're moving the microphone so you can see yourself. My little narcissist. Love you. What? Oh, pots and pans. Anyway. Sanchez coming off a 5-inning, 3 earned run performance against the New York Mets, unfortunately. So there you go. Thanks, everybody. You guys are great, as per usual. We'll try to get you guys a James Harden specific show. Yes, sweetheart.
Rainbow. We see color rainbow.
What's the color of the rainbow? That's the color of the rainbow? I don't even know what that is, sweetheart.
I just saw a rainbow.
Okay. All right. You saw a rainbow.
Another rainbow, Daddy.
Another rainbow. Oh, that's the Google Chrome symbol there, sweetheart. Yeah. I'm going to try to do a James Harden special a little bit later on today with a special guest. So we're going to try to line that up, and hopefully we can get that done for you guys. And, of course, be tweeting that out later today. Thanks, everyone on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. You guys are great, as per usual. If I don't see you, I'll see you on, next week. Have a great 4th of July weekend, everybody. Emmanuel, can you say thanks, everybody?
Thanks, everybody.
There you go, sweetheart. And now, because you chucked the mouse across the room, I have to fire this like this. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Say bye.
Bye.